So, to answer the question of the hour, are jobs overrated? In my opinion, employment, self-sufficiency, achieving our potential and the success that we want. Let's delve deep into this discussion. I'll share with you my perspective and experience as a person who has had years in the workforce and equally time outside of it. So let's get started. Jobs, are they worth it? This question, it's a question that justifiably leads to more questions. What is your current situation? Do you have dependents in need of immediate care? Do you have a savings account or the ability to effectively create one? Valid questions which at times could determine if we even have the option to consider this question of jobs being overrated. However, don't hate me. Outside of certain debilitating factors that are outside of our control, and even sometimes when we do have these factors, I do think a little more often than necessary, a lot more often than necessary, when we think of solving financial struggles or achieving stability, we think, let me get a job, or let me just get a better job. Also, sometimes our actual career goals conclude within a company or within a certain company or a certain job within a company. But I want to challenge you. Reconsider this form of thought, because what if we can be that company? What if we don't need to be in the optimal position to pursue entrepreneurship or self-sufficiency outside of jobs or the workforce? Wait, hear me out, okay? But first, let me explain a few things. On my channel, I create self-help advice videos. I also teach English to native French speakers desirous to learn or just have advice and tips videos surrounding language learning in general. But I'm including also more videos regarding the workforce, regarding securing employment if that's what you desire, and the journey that I'm currently on, which is entrepreneurship, which, by the way, I'm still working, and I'm not gonna lie, I have not yet reached the success that I'm going for, but although it's hard, I do not regret a darn thing. So if you are interested in my journey in general, subscribe. Back to hearing me out. If you are someone who has a dream, has a passion, has an ideal utopia for themselves and their contentment, I challenge you to turn those dreams, passions, those skills into financial profits on your own terms. If you're a graphic designer for a company, you can be a graphic designer for yourself fully. Okay, actually, I don't know that much about graphic design. You probably are already doing that if you're a graphic designer, but just as an example. Anyways, if you are a teacher, you can fully invest in and create your own learning platforms, especially today. These things are not far-fetched. Here's my approach or mindset, okay, in this space, and also some tips. My thing is, you have to plunge into it full force. I mean, there's no, I'm going to do a full-time job at the same time as while I'm trying to build my business. So I'm going to have a part-time job while I'm building my business. I mean, especially if you haven't started yet, I wouldn't say that's the route to go. Some people are already doing this. Some people do this. It has worked for them or it is working for them, but I could not do it anymore, and you also have to consider the stress levels of that. And you have to make sure to prioritize and maintain a healthy lifestyle while you're pursuing these goals. For example, for me, I tried for so many years going after a passion within the confines and bounds of traditional financial stability. No. If you are someone who is honestly, be honest with yourself, struggling with this method too, then it's time to let go. For me, I only have so much energy. And if all of this energy is being equally or even a little bit put into a whole nother entity outside of myself, a conglomerate, an organization, a capitalist organization that is not feeding, me personally, and I mean with my own vision, then I won't have sufficient energy for my own dreams. And I say this even if your current job coincides with your interests, your dreams, and passions. When you work for another entity, there are limitations. Sure, there's stability, but there's control and most often a ceiling. Whereas if we take jobs out of the equation and think, how can I be self-sufficient on my own terms? Then there are less limitations and also no ceiling. I'm not undermining the sacrifices, and I mean work that comes with this. But for me, having even anything tied to employment under another company just ended up being an inhibitor. It's like trying to run a mile race or a marathon with huge rocks tied to the back of your shoes. Can you still move? Yes, maybe. But imagine how much faster you'll go with no weights at all. There are methods of moving forward and reaching your needed necessities financially while you are still building your entrepreneurial endeavors, your company, your own empire. Okay, so the first kind of mindset was plunging full force. A second mindset or tip, think instead of betting on a company or manager to promote you, bet on yourself. Promote yourself. Keeping it going with the tips and confidence boost. At the same time that you are filling out job applications, fill out grant applications. You might get one that allows you to self-sustain while you form your business. Another tip, it's kind of an obvious one, start saving now or use current savings to bet on yourself responsibly. I'm not trying to get anyone into no financial troubles. I'm a very organized and how do I say, what's the word? Careful? Yeah. I'm a very organized and careful person, even though I take a lot of risks. So it doesn't, I don't know how that works. But I'm saying don't be afraid to strategically use savings that you have to start earning financial profits, with your skills. Another tip or mindset, invest in equipment, materials, or assets that can propel you to turn a profit, even if you are still learning about it. A lot of times we delay processes because we feel we are not equipped or prepared or don't have the skill set now. But a lot of that is learned experience. More people than you may think put up a front that they have said skills or attributes when they are in fact still learning it or just getting started, but they're still making money. They're still charging for their services. Listen, now, I'm not telling you to scam people or lie to people. What I'm telling you is that you can have or create a business that is a service and charge people even though you are not 10 years in, or even though you don't have the highest skill set in the market and you're just getting started. You could still start earning money now with the skills that you have. For example, you own a camera and take great pictures. Start setting up photo sessions. I use this example because this is what I did. This was just one of the things I did to launch myself into full self-sustainability and entrepreneurship after leaving a completely full-time job with benefits and everything without having anything lined up after. Okay, yeah, I know. Mind you, also, I did not have any extra resources. I don't live with anyone or have family in the city that I'm in. But, just as an example of turning skills into profits on your own terms, even in situations where you think that you can't or you don't have the adequate resources or the right situation for that. If you're more curious about this rather daunting, risky, but rewarding transition I made and what can help, in more detail, let me know in the comments below. But yes, I always loved photography, but never considered myself a photographer. At one point, which was a few years ago, I decided to invest in this skill. I saw an opportunity and I took it. I mean, it wasn't easy and I did not have a blueprint. But now I'm working successfully as a professional photographer in full operation of my own portrait studio, as well as working with businesses and photography agencies. So, to answer the question of the hour, are jobs overrated? In my opinion, absolutely. And I still have a ways to go. But I am so excited so grateful, and so faithful. Entrepreneurship, or turning your own self into a working, operating business, is not easy. What I've learned, it is certainly pivotal that you remember that anything worth building takes time, takes investing, and does take quite a bit of work. But the benefits and profits will be tenfold. Remember to comment below your questions, your experience, your tips. Like, subscribe, buy me coffee, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care.